Good afternoon and welcome to my Facebook Live. My name is Michele and I'm an independent demonstrator here in Australia. Couple of things I'd just like to say today is please jump on, say hello, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, and let me know where you're from. It's always great to see new people visiting, and it's always good to have a chat. Today we're going to play with the Zany Zoo. So let me just flip my camera down. Oh, first off, a couple of things. Today is the last day. Now let me have a look and see if I've got them on here. Just won't be one moment. Okay, there we go. So today is the last day to grab any designer series paper in the 15% off if you're wanting it. And also today is the last day if you want to join my team in Stamping Up. So if you're interested in either of those two things, well, basically you can go online to micheletrissa.stampinup.net and then go into the shop and you can purchase the designer series paper. The starter kit, if you go onto micheletrissa.stampinup.net, you can find the join now. Now that is only if you want to join my team, you do have to be here in Australia. If you do want to know any more details, of course you can contact me. This all finishes at midnight tonight, so don't leave it too long if you are interested. So let me just go back to the comments. Okay. Hi, Maswari. How are you? Let me just, let me go back to my banner brand and go back to there. Okay, there I am again. And let's go back up to comments. Okay, now let's flip this camera down. Okay, we want to go to there. There we go. Okay, we're going to be playing with the Zany Zoo today. This is my first time playing with this. Literally just opened up the paper and everything today. And what I've been doing for the last 10, 15 minutes is actually die cutting all the pieces and stamping them onto this piece of cardstock because there are just so much into this suite. So as you can see, I've stamped all the images and there is a die cut for each of those images. So you've got the llama here knitting, you've got the leopard dancing, you've got the crocodile or alligator, depending on what country you're in, on his bike. You've got the raccoon and his balloons, you've got the turtle and singing that wonderful tune, and of course you've got the skunk, and you've got all the die cuts to match. Then there are all these little extra pieces here. So you can build up a scene if you wanted to build up a scene. You've got this piece here, which is curtains. These two little pieces here, if you're wondering what they're for, they're like the tiebacks that go on your curtain. Probably other things you could use it for. Like you could probably even use it for branches on these big flowers if you wanted to use them for stems on there. But you've got your flowers, you've got a cloud, you've got a couple of balloons, two different trees, different sizes. You've got a table, like a little vase, and then you have a set of three very tiny little flowers. So there is a little bit here to play with. You also have three wonderful sentiments. You're too wonderful, happy birthday to you, and something great to celebrate. And then you have some music notes and some confetti. So there's quite a bit in this suite. But you also have in this suite the designer series paper. You just move as normal. I've got a messy desk, always work in a mess, but you've got this beautiful designer series paper as well. So you've got on here, you've got your leopard, and the dies will actually cut out these as well. So this one here, you have a leopard, hippopotamus. I'm not quite sure. That could be a meerkat, a reindeer, a sheep. All of those are dancing. So that if you want to do a theme of stage and dancing, you could very easily use that one. Then this one here is music. as you can see, with all the musical notes in the background. And you've got the frog, and you've got the walrus and the turtle, a bear, a beaver. Have I missed any there? No, I think I've got all of those. This one here, let me turn it around. Of course, you've got your raccoon, you've got a dog. Oh, I cannot remember what that is. Koala, of course, an elephant. Armadillo? I think I've got that right. Okay, so you've got all of those on there. Anteater. Now, this one's probably an ostrich, a bunny rabbit, your fox. And I think I've got all of that on that one. And here we have a lion and your skunk and your pig. And I'm not quite sure what that is with the butterflies. And I don't know what that one is called. If you can help me and tell me what they are called, wonderful. Aardvark. Okay, which was the aardvark? Was that the aardvark? I just remember it's got a body like a shell. It's almost from the dinosaur, left over from the dinosaurs, I think. Yes, I've got that one right. Okay, aardvark. Okay, it's not an armadillo. Oh, I've got to learn all my animal names. I'm not real good on those, except for the pigs and the skunks and all of those. Oh, and I've left out one page. So here we've got your llama, we've got a goat, we've got a bear. Oh, what's that one? You've got porcupine. Oh, the one that hangs upside down. Now, I've got a lot of people coming up here, just a Facebook user. I'm not quite sure whether Facebook is still playing up or not. So, a sloth, thank you. I'm not quite sure who it is that's speaking to me because it's just coming up as a Facebook user. Terribly sorry about that. Okay, so they're the lovely papers. Now, if I flip those papers over, which I should have done, you've got all these black and white designs on the back. So you've got this one here, flowers, a zigzag, a spot, stars in circles. And of course, you can colour these also with your blends or with your pencils. If you're going to colour this with your ink and doing like a water wash, just be very, very light with it because the water will affect this paper. It's not a waterproof paper. So I'd probably be sticking just to my blends. You could use your blending brush and brush some colour onto these. But yeah, probably if you, as I said, if you want to use water or try it with water, just be very gentle with it. So they're the papers. Now there is 2 ribbons also in this suite, and I've decided not to purchase those. But I'm sure they're in lemon lime twist, and probably I'm looking at my colors. I think it could be bubble bath. So if you're wanting the ribbons and that to go with it, that's also in the suite if you purchase the suite. So let's get started on the card that we're going to do today. First off, what I want to do is we're going to die cut. I'm just trying to find my piece here. And I have cut it up a little bit, so here it is. So we're going to use this little critter here, our raccoon, and the balloons. Now I have already die cut that just to make it a little bit easier. But what you can do is just cut out that section there. The dies fit fairly snugly around it. And then I use something like a post-it note tape to adhere that down going through my die cut. Of course, you only cut out the section that you want to use, so just a small section there, and then you can run that through your die cut, and that will cut that out beautifully. And that's the beauty of this paper. If you really don't feel confident about colouring, you can colour it yourself. But you could also add, if you wanted to, add a bit extra colour in this, because what they've done is they've left the critter in a black and white, and they've just got colour in the balloons. So the same with some of these other critters. This one here is all coloured in. The koala's all coloured in, but some of them, like the elephant's not coloured in, only just the there is a name for that, but the bandana there he's got with the coloured flags on it. But we're going to use this little one here, and I'm not going to worry about colouring him anymore today. Now the colours, the cardstock I've decided to use is I've got a piece of the, trying to remember all the new names, so please excuse me, but it's the lemon lolly. Of course, I've got a piece of basic white to go on the inside of my card. I've got another piece of basic white which is going to go on the outside of my card, and I will add the measurements on my blog. I haven't been doing that of late, unfortunately. I've had a very, very busy month, but luckily now I've only got sewing left to do. I don't have any activities at the moment happening until next month. I've got a little piece here of the lemon lime twist, and I've got two pieces of the black and white zigzag that we're going to use. Now, the other product we're going to use today, because I do like to do a bit of masking, is using the 4 square decorative masks. Now, this is the new mask that you'll find in the annual catalogue, and I'm going to be using this one here, which has just got a really nice grid background. I'm just going to pop those masks away for the minute. So I'm going to grab my smaller piece of basic white, and I just want to add a little bit of masking to this. Now, this is going on my card front, and I'm going to put a little bit of post-it note on here just to hold that in position. And then I'm going to grab my mask, pop that over the top in the position that I want it in, and I'm going to add a bit of masking tape on that as well, just to hold it down. Now, of course, this tape isn't that strong. If you want something a little bit stronger, you could use something like washi tape. So I've got my blending brush here, and I'm going to be using only 2 inks today. I'm using the Lemon Lolly, and I'm going to be using my Memento Black. So all I want to do is add a little bit of colour onto this. Now, I'm not colouring the whole lot. Now, as you would normally do when you're putting ink on your blending brush, just tap a little bit of that off. And all I want to do is just get an area in the middle here and add some colour. Now, you can add as much colour as you want. And basically, I'm going to have my critter sitting over the top of that area where I'm adding colour. So I want it to be almost as tall as him. And I'm going to take that right up. And I'm going to have most of my colour saturated in the middle and just going out to the sides a little bit. Not too much. Now, if you want to check, just hold your mask and your cardstock, and you can lift that up and you can see the colour underneath. Once you're happy with the intensity of that colour, then you can remove your mask. Just be very careful, because I had tape going across that corner just like that I didn't take colour right up into that corner, because otherwise you would end up with a line where your masking was. So I've just wanted to cover that sort of area there. Now I'm going to clean that off later on. So I'm going to pop that to one side and give that a bit of a wipe down later. Okay, so there's a little bit more work I want to do on here. I want to do stamp my sentiment, but actually the first thing I might do is I'm going to bring in my card insert. Now I had an idea. I'm going to bring this back because I just want to add a little bit of decoration into this. So I'm just going to, now I've made sure too that I haven't flipped this over because there's still ink sitting on the surface of this. So I've just got to be very careful. And I just want to pop that down just there like that. I'm going to add a little bit of colour onto here. Now I'm just going to be very careful where I'm putting my fingers. I might see if I've got a scrap of paper here that I can use. Hold on one sec. And I'm going to pop that over the top just so then I can put my fingers down on there. I just don't want to get ink on my fingers. And all I want to do is add just a little bit of colour down the side here. Now I don't want a sharp edge on the inside, so I'm just sort of taking it in. So I just want to have a little bit of that pattern on the mask just coming down. And just working in. So as you can see there, I've just got a little bit of that masking there. Now I'm quite happy with that, so I'm going to lift all of that up. Let's remove that paper, pop that onto there. And I'll bring this up closer so you can actually see. So all I've done is I've just added a bit of colour down one side of my cardstock. So I've done that one, and I've got this one here where I've added the masking to the inside of my card. So I'm going to pop my card insert away for the moment. And as I said before, we're going to do a bit extra stamping on our card front. So I've chosen the Happy Birthday to You stamp. And I'm going to stamp that as my sentiment. I like to square my paper up with my grid paper. And I'm going to bring my Happy Birthday to You down a little bit into that area there and stamp off. Okay. Now I'll clean that stamp up later. So I'm going to have him sitting there. And the other thing I've got is the stamp with the confetti on it. And I just want to stamp some of this confetti around. Now I'm only going to put probably 3. So I'm going to pop him there. Now that's roughly where he's going to end up being. So I'm going to stamp 1 there. Make sure you turn your stamp image around so you don't have them all going in the same direction. And try not to stamp on your raccoon that you've so beautifully, or hopefully beautifully, die cut. Because remember too, if you haven't got the dies, they're a fairly simple image, so you could probably cut them freehand as well. And I'm going to stamp that one there. Okay, remove that. Because I'm going to place him onto some dimensionals just to give him a bit of a lift. Okay, so there's all the stamping we're going to do on this card. Now I'm going to grab rid of that. I'm going to grab these pieces here. Now I've got a strip here of that lemon lime twist, and I'm going to adhere that just underneath that one side there. So I'm going to grab my seal. I'm just going to put a strip of Seal Plus there. And that is going to go there on my piece, just like that. Now these two pieces here, I'm going to use my grid paper again just to line up my card base. And I want these pieces here to go from edge to edge. Now, I've just, instead of using a piece going right across, I am using two little pieces here. But if I butt those two together, they are cut in one piece and then cut in the middle. That's so then they both start and finish at the same spot. So what I want to do is I'm lining up my card base to that bottom edge there, and I'm going to use this dark line going across my grid paper as my guide. So again with my seal, now you can, if you want to, use your multi-purpose glue, which is normally what I would use. But I'm going to try and see if we can get this lined up. Just along that edge there. Use some more seal on this one. Oops. I think I've just run out of seal. Okay. I don't have another seal handy at the moment, but that's okay. I managed to get all of those pieces. Now I'm just wanting to make sure that I've got, yes, that's the right way around. And then I want to marry up my lines on the other side. So I'm just lining up that on the bottom of that grid paper, and I'm using that line as my top of my designer series paper and popping that down there. Okay, so it's got two little pieces going across there. Now this is going to go on there like that, and you would think that you had one piece of cardstock underneath. Now I'm going to pop, that is going to go on there, but I'm wondering whether I might add a little bit of baker's twine. So let's just take that off for a second. And I want to make a bow on here, which is going to go on the other side. So I'm going to wrap this around. I usually like wrapping them around 3 times because an odd number is a lot better than an even number. I'm just cutting that off there. And I'm just going to tie, or try to tie, the bow just about there. Whoops, I'm going to just turn this around. I sometimes find it a lot better to tie a bow upside down because then I can get my tails going the direction I want them to go. Okay. Not bad, except I want those tails to be a bit longer. I might just adjust this a bit more. Let's try that again. I had a tail longer on one side, very short on the other. Probably really shouldn't have cut that length off until after I tied my bow, but that's okay. Let's see how we go there. Turn that around a little bit. Shorten that one. Shorten the bow on that one. Okay. That's better. Just going to slip that bow around a little bit more. I'll cut those tails off in a little while. I just want to make sure that we've got so that's going to go there like that. I think that will work. Okay, I'm going to add some dimensionals onto the back of this because we've got all this baker's twine on the back there, and that's going to lift that section. So I'm going to use my large dimensionals. So yeah, is everybody having a lovely day today? It's been quite cool here in the Southern Highlands. I haven't actually even ventured outside as yet. But I've got the heater on in my room and it's quite nice and toasty in here. Last night we went to bed and it was 3 degrees, so it was cool. I've had a few cool and windy days, but I've got no trees outside my window, so I couldn't tell you whether it's windy or not. All I know is it's not raining. So I hope you're having nice weather where you are. Okay, so we have our dimensionals on here. And I'm actually going to pop this more to one side. Whoops, put it up a little bit higher, I think. Make sure it's got it opening the right direction. Yep, I'm happy with that. Now, before I put him on there, I want to grab this piece here, which is going to go on the inside of my card. Just making sure that that's all straight. Yes, I think it is. Spread those out a little bit. And I'm going to get my multi-purpose glue. This lemon lolly is such a pretty yellow. Who else is enjoying a lot of the new colours that's returned and been brought in? Okay, that just adds that lovely little bit of interest. So it's just not all plain on the inside. And if you wanted to, you could probably add, let's have a look. You could even add something great to celebrate you on the inside, which I think I might do. Let me grab that stamp set and grab sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a sentiment on the inside as well. And I'm going to do this in my black. For some reason, I nearly always do my sentiments in black. And that I'm just going to pop just there. Beautiful. Now we need to add some dimensionals onto that. So I've got my mini dimensionals and I've got my larger ones. Oh, I did have my larger ones. I did have them sitting here. Here they are. And we're going to pop a few dimensionals on here. Now, I don't want the dimensionals going over the baker's twine. So I'm going to put a little dimensional on the bottom. And now I can put a larger one on the back of his head. And I might just put another small one there. I'm not worrying about his tail because that's going to be near the baker's twine. Let's pop that. I want the bow to be sort of just hanging on his tail a little bit. And that to be just there like that. So now all we need to do is just trim these down. Pop those away. And I won't lose them yet again. And there's my card. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could add a little bit of bling onto this. I'm not quite sure whether I've got anything. Could add these colors here. This is the adhesive back solid gems. And of course, this has got the lemon lolly on there, so we could grab a couple of those. Now I've got my take a pick tool here. Let's just add one there. Can add another small one there. Pick one down there with a small. You've got three different sizes in these. So you've got a really small one, and then medium size and the large. So what I've done is I've done a large and a small, then a medium and a small, and a medium and a small. There we go. Don't normally use gems, but that worked out quite well. Wasn't planning that. I'll fix it up later. Okay, so there is my card for today. Just something really simple, but very easy to copy and to redo. And of course, there's lots of different masks. So if you don't like that one, you could choose a different mask. You could choose any of these colors because you've got your probably your lemon lime twist there. This one here looks like it could be. Let me have a look at the back of the colors here. They say basic black, crumb cake, lemon lime twist, lemon lolly, petal pink, pool party, and pumpkin pie. So I would say that that's lemon lime twist. Of course, you've got your lemon lolly. This one here is probably a pool party. And then this one here would be your petal pink. So you could do your background on there depending on which is your favorite color or whether you're doing this for a boy or a girl. But I really love that in the lemon lime, not in the lemon lime twist, in the lemon lolly. And I have got someone very special who will be receiving this card next month. So I hope she will like it. So I hope you've enjoyed the card. Please join me again next Friday where we will create something different using Stampin' Up's wonderful products. If you want to purchase any of my products or any of the Stampin' Up products through me, of course you can through my site here at michelledutrissa.stampinup.net, and you just go to shop, and from there you can sign up under me and purchase all your products that you require. The only thing is you do need to be here in Australia. You can follow me on my blog, which is Butterflies and Bows. That's with a Y, not an IES. Or you can join me on Facebook under Michelle Dutrissa Stampin' Up. So thank you for joining me today. And let me just bring me back in here. And I hope you can join me again next week as we create something fun again in my craft room. So have a wonderful day, and I'll catch up with you all later on. Bye for now.